Hey, welcome back. So I've dragged you through about the last of the unending talk about selection tools. However, we're going to use this selection for something now. So we have this fellow selected here pretty effectively. Now remember, one thing I might do is I might add it as a save selection, and I'll call it guy. Now I want to draw your eye over here to the far right-hand side. And down near the bottom, there's a little panel down here called Layers. And you can see if you look at it, we have one layer, and it's called Background. There's a couple of things about the background layer that make it different than other layers that we'll see pretty soon here. First of all, this is not different, but that little eyeball there basically means show it or hide it. And for some reason, it doesn't want to play right now. I want to show you what happens when I copy this. So I'm going to go Edit, Copy. Now, of course, there's never any notification about copying, right? You did it. You know you did it, but it doesn't tell you it did. Now, at this point, what happens if we paste? Well, you can't tell, but if you look at the layers over here, you'll see that there is layer 1 and background down here. Now, if I hide background, I can see just my copy paste. So notice what's going on here. This is a transparency. This is the way transparency is shown here. And the pixel doesn't include all these little gray and white squares. It just uses this on screen. Now, I can bring that back again. Well, what can I do with that? Well, if, for example, I want to do something like, say, change the world all around him, but not for him, I'm clicked on the background. I'm going to do a couple of my things from before. I'm going to go like adjustments. Let me do hue and saturation, right? We're going to make the sky a little weird, a little dark, a little foreboding, right? And let's maybe make the whole thing a little bit more dense by levels, dragging it down a bit. Okay, now if we didn't have him separate on his own little layer above this, because that's where he is, he's above this level right here, he would be taking on every bit of that color change too, and as a result, he wouldn't be quite as clear and obvious, right? So over here, if I take this away now, that's what happened. And I mean, in a way, he's even more obvious because he's darker and denser. But this does keep it clean, and it also allows you to create a kind of a separation of effect on what's taking place here. Now, what happens if we paste again? Oop, just paste. Now, sometimes when you hit paste and you have something selected, it'll drop right into position. Sometimes when you just hit paste, this is what's going to happen, right? He's going to just appear kind of wherever, kind of generally on the picture. Now, at this point, how many of him do we actually have? Well, in a sense, we have 2 because we have 2 cutouts, but we have 3 in terms of all this guy walking along together. So now we've created this like little one-man army of, I don't know what the hell he's studying there, but that's what's going on now, right? And so this is the way, layers are the way that we have the flexibility to make a lot of changes without having everything happen on a very unforgiving single layer, right? Like at this point, these are now safe from harm, from what might be harm, right? If I go to this one here and I do something really crazy, adjustments, exposure, you can see the ones that are outside the background layer are just free from harm. Nothing is happening to them, right? So this is good in a lot of ways. It also keeps this thing really flexible. All right, I'm going to wrap it up for the 5 minutes, and I'll be back with more of this nonsense pretty damn quick.